Hey everybody, Roxabox90 here with part 4 of our complete M15 core set review, and we're going to go through every single card in this set and give you guys the look at the limited format so you guys are ready for your pre-release. We've done this before in the spoilers, but for this review, we're going to go through all the cards and focus on limited. So today we're up to red, and we're going to start with Act on Impulse. This card is going to be much better constructed, I think, than it will be in limited. And even though the art's cool and all, maybe if you see a foil, hang on to that, but that's about it. Aggressive Mining is a weird card in general, but in limited, most people shouldn't play it just because they're not going to be able to use it in a way that would work in limited. But I do think oftentimes in limited, when you stall out mid-game, if you're in a slow format like this one, it's very easy to stall out where both players are slow and there's lots of land on the field, and then you want to be able to go through your deck quickly. So I think it has as a one-of in certain decks, I think it does have potential for limited. All-Tack Bloodseeker, this guy's well costed. I don't like that his haste can only be used if you use removal before playing him, and then you're only getting a 4/1 first strike attacker for that removal that you're it's awkward to get that haste. But I think having a removal spell and then having a 4/1 first strike as a result, not too bad. I like it as an uncommon. Belligerent Sliver is good if you have slivers, and that's the biggest problem, is that there's not a huge number of sliver support here, which is a potential issue I'm noticing. But really, if you have enough slivers, it's a good sliver. Blastfire Bolt, 6 mana for 5, is usually good. It kills most stuff in the format, even bombs. And I think since everything's a little slow, I think this card is pretty decent. Borderland Marauder is a 3/2 for 2 whenever it attacks, which is its main goal if you're in an aggressive build, which is when you'll use it. That's fine cost for aggressive builds. Broodkeeper, it's a really strong card, I think, if you have the right stuff to build around. And if you do, I think this card will swing games, just because getting a 2/2 flyer with fire breathing every time an aura happens, it's pretty awesome. Burning Anger, while I like this ability to tap and do damage to a creature or a player, it does cost 5, and it's a 2-for-1, as anyone who's looking at the set would keep saying. The auras don't have bestow, so you're often having a 2-for-1, and in this case, it's so expensive, unless the creature's ready to go, and even then, it's just such an expensive spell. So it's really strong if somehow you can make it stick. Chandra Piemaster, like all Planeswalkers, are amazing. Circle of Flame, I never liked Circle of Flame. I didn't even use it before, but now, still don't like it. Clear Path, there's only a couple of walls. I would sideboard this card if you have it, because there are some really strong walls, and for aggressive builds, you don't want to be stuck with that blue wall we looked at, that 07 wall. You don't want to be stuck dealing with that. So I think having a couple on the sideboard, if you end up getting them, not a bad idea. Cone of Flame is a little weird. We've had lots of effects like this. I think it's, especially in a slow format where you'll probably have a good number of stuff in the field, I think it's pretty effective. 6 damage for 5, even though it's spread out, it's pretty good. And taking one yourself if you have to, but you have to choose for one for each target. Taking one to yourself, I think, is worth still getting the 5 for 5. Crowd Favor, it's a combat trick. We always have these. What makes these combat tricks interesting is that it has Convoke, which means there's a potential if you have one random dude, just tap the dude, boom, you can play it. So you can be tapped out and it's not over. I'd be very careful, but there's a couple of spells like this. When you're playing limited, even if your opponent's tapped out, you should still be careful, because there are combat things they can use, unless their creatures are tapped out too. Crucible of Fire, there aren't enough dragons, don't bother. Forge Devil is okay, I don't love it. I don't love most 1-drops, so here we have 1, 2, 3 1-drops. I don't like any of them. Generator Servant is really awesome, especially if you get a huge bomb. You want to be able to get out quickly with haste. This card is pretty strong. Goblin Kaboomist, I think will be fun. I don't think it's awesome and limited in any sense, but I think it's, you play him early, you let him build up a bunch of mines, and you can do a lot of damage even if you may lose him. I think he could be worthwhile. Goblin Rabblemaster, on his own, he's actually not bad for an aggressive deck. There aren't a lot of good goblins to work with, but still, you get 3 for 3 power effectively when he attacks, and 4 power even. I think he can be pretty strong. Goblin Rough Rider is kind of similar to Rabblemaster. He's more of a support guy if you have the Rabblemaster. Otherwise, he's not that great. Hammerhand, I don't I don't love it. It's cheap, yeah. It can give haste, yeah, but then I think it's okay. It's nothing great. Heat Ray is probably the best removal in red. It's ridiculously awesome. The fact that it's an uncommon is a little skewed, and again, you're not going to see it as often as a result, but it's awesome. If you're going red, grab it. It's amazing. Hoarding Dragon, it's a good body, and there are some artifacts you might want to use it for, but mostly it's just a solid body with flying. Inferno Fist, I like it, especially that you can use it to finish off a player if need be, and 2-0 for 2 is not bad. Kurd Chieftain is one of the best of these 1+1s as you control things because he can get really big really fast. He's usually going to be a 4-4-4-4 anyway, and then he can get even stronger. I like him. Krenko's Enforcer is a little weak for what he is. I mean, he does have Intimidate, which gives him something. If you're running heavy red focus, he's good. Kurkesh is going to be good in EDH Commander, not so much here. Lava Axe is fine, but I wouldn't run more than maybe one of them. Lightning Strike is probably the best common red card in the set. I mean, it usually is. We just had it in Theros and it was amazing. It's amazing here too. Might Makes Right is awful. Miner's Bane is also pretty awful. Paragon of Fierce Defiance is fine. Haste is nice that you can throw it onto a big creature. I like that about it. Rummaging Goblin is a little overcosted for what it is. It does give you late game advantage though. Scrap Mongrel requires artifacts, and even then it's not so good. Shrapnel Blast, if you have artifacts, it's really good. Siege Dragon is the pre-release promo. We'll talk about the pre-release promos another time. It's a decent card. I would not shove it into a deck just to have it. If you have better bombs, there's stuff that's better than it, but it's okay. I mean, it's just a generic bomb. Soul of Chandelar is amazing. As with all the souls, this one particularly is ridiculous and will give you long-term advantage. Stoke the Flames is a really pretty powerful uncommon. I would grab it especially if you're running heavy red. Thundering Giant has never been really that good. Torch Fiend is not enough artifacts for this to be really good. And Wall of Fire is okay. I like that you can trade up later game. So those are all the red cards from M15. We're going into the rest of the colors we still have to go very, very soon. Let me know your guys' thoughts about the limited format for M15 down below in the comment section. If you enjoyed the video, tap the like button. And if you're new to the channel, check in and subscribe for more M15 set review. And as always, Roxabox90 signing out. See you guys next time.